Hi everybody, it's Lyn from Lyn's Crafts, and welcome to another Mixed Media Monday. This time I'm working on a little crown canvas, for lack of a better word. It's a thick chipboard. I think they may be Maya Road. They're really old. I've had them for 10 years maybe. I've got some of the light and fluffy modeling paste from TCW. And I'm just going to do this top area of the crown with the Prima Damask stencil. I say Damask stencil. I'm not really sure it has a name. It doesn't have a name on the packaging. Let me put it that way. Okay, I think I got it everywhere. Which I probably did get it everywhere. Okay. Okay, that turned out kind of pretty. And I'm still having camera issues, so I'm trying really hard not to pause until I get to a place I want to pause. I've cut out some little extra bits. That are going to go here, here, and here. Okay, I'll glue those on after this is dry. They're just to add a little depth to the chipboard. I did a little, but I dropped it. So I'm going to let this dry overnight and I'll be back in the morning. Okay, now I'm going to now I'm going to glue down the shapes with some Lyn's tacky glue. Oh, so sorry. Okay, now I just need to hold them in place a couple of minutes till they start to set. Okay, this is just a little bit of the Alumilite casting resin. Amazing casting resin. Which is the quick set one that turns white. It's equal part resin, 1-to-1 ratio. And this is just the little crown mold I just got from Wish. Okay, and try to have a little mold or two set aside to use your extra resin, because it is difficult to mix just enough resin, especially when you're working with such small quantities. Now I'm just going to let these set up. Won't take 10 or 20 minutes, depending on your weather. It will set up a little quicker in humid temperatures, which isn't the case here today, so it'll take a while. Okay, here's the crown. I've pulled out a few embellishments. These are just some metal adhesive little dots. And then I've got some rhinestones. The color really doesn't matter because I'm going to gesso over them anyway. But first I'm going to start with some more of the light and fluffy modeling paste. Okay, now that I've finally got it open. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is to stick down the little crown. Okay, that looks straight to me. Then I'm going to just take some of these sticky dots that I've had for way too long. And just start randomly placing them down. Randomly, but with a pattern. If I can get them to stick to something other than me. Okay, really? I didn't want to get this messy. Just stick. That's a little better. Okay, I think I'm going to put a second row down here across the bottom. Okay. Boy, don't put the lid back on this stuff till you're sure you're done. Because it is a booger to get back off. Okay, now I'm going to just take some of these rhinestones that I've also had in my stash for a long time. I really wanted a larger one to go right here, but I couldn't find them. So that is gonna do. Then I'll take some of these smaller ones. If I can pick it up. Okay. And yes, okay, it was really just bugging me. So, I'm just going to go back and add just a little bit. To the edges, just to define them just a bit. I already like it better. Okay. Alright, that should dry up about the same time. Hopefully it will all come together once I paint the gesso, or once I cover it with gesso. When you're doing mixed media, there should always be a point where you just hate it. If it doesn't, you're not doing it right. That's my philosophy anyway. Okay, so I'll be back when this is dry. Okay, now it's dry for the most part. I'm just gonna gesso it. And really, although I was scrubbing it on, That's just to get coverage because there is a lot of texture. I want to go back and stipple over it to get rid of those brush marks and to add a bit more texture. And yep, I'm going to gesso over the gems. Gesso over all of it. When I'm done with, I have a whole series of these. I didn't do videos on them all, but when I'm done, I'll try to put up a video showing all of them. And again, since I can't seem to do this without getting it on me. Okay, and though really and truly this probably needs 2 coats, I'm not really too worried about it. I'm going to go over it with some darker colors, so 1 coat ought to be enough. Alright, so I'll be back once this is dry. Okay, now I've got some of the vivid ultra metallics in Wine and Roses and Autumn Leaf. Now, these are meant to be a squeeze top. But the one thing I find is that these need way too much stirring for that to even be possible. So I'm just going to take a long paintbrush to get down to the bottom. Whoa. Okay. And unfortunately, I'll have to do that with the Autumn Leaf as well. Okay. Okay, hopefully that'll be a good enough coat. Now, I'll have to rinse this brush, and I'll have to rinse it really good, because these Vivid Ultra Metallics have a bunch of pigment in them. So, as you can see, I've washed the brush, and I'm going to wash it again. Okay, hopefully I've gotten it all out. Okay, now I'm going to do the same stirring with the autumn leaf, but I'm not going to put you through that torture, so I'll be back when. Okay, now this color is a lot more copper, for lack of a better word, than I really want it to turn out. But there is method behind my madness. Bit. And this will take more than one coat. And as you could tell, I'm using a pretty scrubby, rough, crappy brush. Don't want to use a good brush for all this texture. Okay, again, I'm just going to use a pouncing motion. Because A, it does add to the texture, and B, it helps the second coat be easier to paint over. Luckily, it's also very thick paint. Or that would have just been a disaster. Okay, now I'm going to let this dry. And while I'm tempted to use my heat gun, I'm just going to let it dry naturally. So, I shall be back once again. Okay, now I've got some of the Art Alchemy metallic waxes in brushed iron and aged brass. I don't know why this one is so hard to open. This one is the brushed iron, obviously. It's a really, really creamy wax. Has a wonderful smell. Now I'm just getting the least tiny little bit on my finger. I'm really wanting it to stay on the top of the detail and not go down in the recesses too much. Sorry. Okay. I'll wipe my finger off just a bit. This one is the aged brass. Not sure why I had to look at that again, but I've ordered a few other colors, but they just haven't arrived yet. Michaels has had some excellent sales on the Finnebar line these last couple of weeks. Okay, there it is. Possibly not the best mixed media project you've ever seen, but once I put them all together, I'll do a flip through. I plan on doing both sides, I think. Some of them are a lot bulkier than this one. I may put a quote, a sentiment, something up here at the top. I'm not sure. Alright. So, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Once again, I'll put the links to the products and my social media accounts down below the video. Bye for now.